The Indianapolis Zoo will award the 7th Indianapolis Prize to a top conservationist later this year.
And tonight's finalist is a man who believes in order to save the animals, we have to care about them first. And Carl Safina uses unconventional means to get us interested in conservation. Carl Safina likes to fish. He's one of those guys who, when he's not fishing, he thinks about fishing and about the health of the world's oceans, lakes, and streams.
I didn't learn about conservation in books. I didn't learn about conservation in school.
He learned about ecology, and he uses his skills as a writer to teach the rest of us about it, too.
Well, because he's a storyteller. You know, he's a scientist who tells stories, and he connects people to the natural world through those personal stories. And I think he is such a fine writer.
That may be underselling it a bit. Carl Safina is a world-class writer with more than a half-dozen critically acclaimed books on the threats facing the world's marine habitats. He writes in prose, telling us about the oceans from the point of view of marine mammals, fish, turtles, and birds who live there.
The animals that I use are fantastic traveling companions and guides because they're the ones that have to live it every day. They live in the ocean that we're affecting.
By things like overfishing, pollution, and climate change. His books read more like novels than textbooks, and in his most recent work, he extended his reach to dry land, exploring the way animals like elephants and wolves think and feel.
He's a witness to many, many things, but he brings that scientist's point of view. He's a great writer. And he's also a wonderfully engaging person. That combination is really hard to beat.
Carl Safina co-founded the Blue Ocean Institute in 2003, which is now known as the Safina Center. His goal is to bring together art, literature, and science in a way that gives us all a closer bond with nature. And Carl Safina is one of the 6 Indianapolis Prize finalists you'll see featured here on Eyewitness News. You can read about each one at our website, WTHR.com/Indianapolis Prize.